All right. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to a live question and answer session with me, Ryan Strain. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to chat, and I'm going to answer questions. Whatever questions you got, throw them at me. Of course, I'm talking to people who aren't here yet, because those of you who are seeing this part are people who are watching this after the fact. But you can ask me questions anyway. I just won't hear you. But what you should do is go back in time to when this stream started, approximately 33 seconds ago, and hop in here and join us. Let's wait for some people to come in. Let's see what we got. Let me post this on my Facebook so we can get some more peeps in here. Share. Copy. Go to my Facebook. Yeah, I'm starting to like this live streaming thing. I started doing it for the Monday streams that I've been doing now every Monday morning, where I listen to your music live and react to it and give my opinion on it. And that's been going pretty well. We've been getting some good activity there, some good conversations going, and finding some new music. And we're just all having a good time doing that. So next Monday, you guys should hop in, because what I'm doing is I'm going to lower the donation price, because I've been charging $10 for you to submit your music. But to celebrate the success of the past couple of streams, I'm going to lower it down to $5. So $5, and I will listen to your song live on stream every Monday morning. And we also have good chats, good conversations. Everybody supports each other. And it's just a fun time. So totally do that next Monday. If you got $5 laying around, you want me to listen to your song, totally worth it, I think, in my humble opinion. I'm just posting this on my Facebook real quick. We are live right now. Come in and chat. Post. All right. Looks like we got a few people popping their heads in. Tullius is here. Hi, Tullius. Big 666 Jim. Good afternoon to you, sir. And Trevin Sass. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Hope everybody's got something to drink. I got some scotch. My drink of choice on most occasions. Scotch or whiskey. I also got some coffee over here as well. I am set. And I got 2 bottles of water. I'm ready. I'm ready for this thing to go on for a few hours, so I hope you guys are too. All right. Let's see. What was my day like today so far? Pretty good. I gave a vocal lesson today. Yeah. New guy. Kind of fun stuff. I think I'm lowering the price of my vocal lessons as well. I was charging $100 an hour, but I think I'm going to lower it down to $50 an hour, which seems like a much more reasonable rate, considering I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I can scream. I know all the ways to scream. But translating that into words and to something that makes sense to somebody else is a whole different thing. So I learned very quickly that while I can do all of these things, teaching is a totally different skill that totally different thing. So I'm kind of learning how to teach while I'm teaching, and a lot of it's just me kind of getting frustrated and going, it's like you just gotta do like, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it, and the people that are taking lessons from me seem to be enjoying it, and they want more, so must be doing something right. So if anybody wants some lessons, $50 an hour, my schedule is open. like open Monday through Friday, any time of the day really, before like 4 or 5 p.m. So like anytime during like a normal work day, just let me know. Send me an email. Go to my website, send me an email, send me a message on Facebook or anything, and hit me up, and I will do what I can. The way it works is, when I meet somebody and we're talking for the first time, I ask them, what are you trying to sound like? Pick a song by a specific band that you want to like really work on and delve deep into, and then we'll go line by line. We'll start the song and we'll start the verses, and I will mimic what that vocalist is doing. Like right now, the guy that I talked to today, he wants to learn how to scream like Anders from In Flames, which is right up my alley. I've been doing that for a long time, so I'm very comfortable with that. And he wanted to learn specifically the song Darker Times, I believe it's called. Yeah, Darker Times off of Sounds of a Playground Fading. And that kind of like sing, scream type thing that Anders does. So we're kind of delving into that. So, he doesn't have a lot of experience screaming. He's learning how to sing. He's taking singing lessons, but he has no idea how to scream. So to try to teach somebody to flip that switch in their throat that suddenly makes their voice go instead of it's a lot more difficult to put into words than it should be. But yeah, I'm learning. They're learning. We're all learning. We're all having a good time. All right. Let's see what we got here. Big 666 Jim. How you doing, brother? Hey, Ryan, I've been a fan for years. How have you been? What are the top 5 bands you have been listening to lately? I am doing okay. Thank you for asking. Every day is different. Some days are better than others. But overall, I'm doing pretty well. I'm happy with the way things are going musically, and that's really all I'm holding on to right now. I moved down here to North Carolina in December. This is where I grew up, but I've been away from North Carolina for like the last 10 years or so. So I moved back here in December to stay with my dad, and since I've been here, I've been meeting a lot of new people, spending a lot of time going to bars and doing open mics and singing with my dad. He plays guitar, so we sing like Pink Floyd songs together and stuff, and meeting some new people. And I met a girl I'm going out with now for a little while, and things are working out. So far, so good. The top 5 bands I have been listening to lately. That is a great question. I've been listening to I've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd, which I'm kind of backing off on that a little bit because I think I overdid it. I listened to so much Pink Floyd in the last year that now I'm kind of like, I know their songs so well now. But I'd still listen to Pink Floyd all the time. But listening to Mirath, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know Mirath. They're from Tunisia. They're a Tunisian metal band. So they have a lot of like Tunisian folk influence in their music. It sounds very like Arabian. And I think Zaire, the singer from Mirath, is one of the coolest voices out there right now. I love listening to him sing, and I just love the music. I love the feel of it. So that's really like I keep going back and forth between Pink Floyd and Mirath. Been listening to a lot of my own music lately, just because we were working on this album, and I'm so impatient, and I want it to be done. So I like listen to the demos almost every day. I've been listening to them almost every day for like the last 7 months, and I'm just waiting to hear mixed versions of these songs to get them out to you. So a lot of my own music. I've been listening to, who else? Just kind of random things on and off. Mercenary. I've been listening to Mercenary a lot again lately. I don't know. Nothing really specific. I kind of jump back and forth depending on my mood. Not a lot of new bands. I think as far as like new bands, my buddy Tullius over here, my artist, has been turning me on to a lot of new bands. Sorted Pink is really good at what I've been getting into lately. If you don't know what Sordid Pink is, I think they kind of evolved from the band Destiny Potato, which it has what is his name? Bilo, David. I don't know how to say his fucking name. Gent guitarist guy. They make good music. Female singer. She has a really powerful voice. It's a very poppy voice, but then she also has this kind of like fry scream that she goes into to give it some extra drive. And the songs are really, really catchy and fun to listen to. What's another one that he told me about? There's one called... I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's... Hold on a second. Dark Horse, White Horse. I've been listening to them a little bit. They're pretty cool. It's like a dark metal band with kind of like witchy type vocals. Not like witch like style vocals, but like witchy, like themed, like lyrics and stuff like that. It has a female vocalist, and she's kind of witchy, which is kind of cool. And I like her voice a lot. Tulia says that I should charge Doge coins. Yes. Anybody else sinking all their money in Doge right now? Unfortunately, I am. And if you check the price of Doge today, you will be as disappointed as I am. But I'm holding, because I have a feeling it's going to shoot up soon. I don't know if Elon Musk is helping or hurting the cause, but either way, I can't afford to get out of it now. I have to wait until it goes back up. My average price per share, I think I have 1,200 shares right now of Doge, and the average price that I spent on them is 40 cents each, because I bought in kind of earlier at like 35 cents and then a little bit at like 50 cents, so it averaged out about 40 cents each. And right now, last time I checked, Doge is down to like 32 cents a share, so I've lost a little bit of money, but I think it's going to go back up. And the purpose, I mean, just hold. That's all you can do is hold. You only lose if you sell. What is my favorite movie? Good question. What is my favorite movie? I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy has been, I mean, it's not one movie, it's 3 movies, but that's been like the staple of my life, basically. Since I first saw Lord of the Rings when it came out, when I was fucking 10 years old. Actually, I had just turned 11. It was in November 2001. I had just turned 11 the month before. My brother took me to see the first movie in the theater, and it just blew my mind, and I've been hooked on it ever since. And like, I've seen the movie so many times. I've played Lord of the Rings games. I've listened to the music. I love the soundtrack for those movies. It's one of the best movie soundtracks of all time, in my opinion. And I quote those movies almost on a daily basis, but I think about them every day. I think about Lord of the Rings every day. And I'm not over-exaggerating when I say that. I think about Lord of the Rings every day. I've never read the books. I have the books. I have not read them. They seem kind of dry to me. I like watching the movies now because I've already seen the movies, so now I think about the movies, and I think about the visuals and the music and all that stuff that goes with it. So to sit down and read like this old English style story seems kind of dry to me, and it's hard for me to read books anymore. But yeah, the Lord of the Rings movies I think are my favorite movies of all time. I love Star Wars. Always loved Star Wars since I was a kid. You know, I have my opinions on all the different trilogies. But, you know, it's Star Wars. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the newer sequels. But, you know, it's Star Wars. If you go back, like if you had never seen Star Wars at all, and you were to try to watch the original trilogy now, you'd probably think they were the dumbest things in the world. Like, go back and watch the original scene when Luke meets Yoda for the first time on Dagobah, and the way that Yoda talks and the way he's acting. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. But because it's Star Wars, we're all just so used to it because it's been around for, you know, however long it's been around, since the 70s. And, you know, it's just become so iconic and a part of culture. So now when a new movie comes out, all the people that know about the old movies and the people that grew up watching Star Wars, they think, oh, this is stupid stuff for kids. But it's like, it's always been stupid stuff for kids. It's a kids movie. I mean, it's not a kids movie, but it's a family movie. You're supposed to be able to sit down with your kids and your teenagers and you watch Star Wars. It's not for 40-year-old men that can't let go of their childhood. So, I mean, you can have your opinions on Star Wars. That's my opinion. I think the movies are what they are, and they each serve their purpose, and they're entertaining in their own way. Will I go back and watch the sequel movies many, many times? Probably not. I don't think there's a reason to. I don't think they were as entertaining to me as the original movies and the prequels, but I'm liking all the stuff that's coming out of it now. I like the Star Wars universe and how it's kind of taking off and growing. I like the Solo movie. Not a lot of people saw the Solo movie, but I liked Solo. I thought it was good. I was really entertained by it. I liked Rogue One. Rogue One was great. Great movie. The Mandalorian series, so good. The new Obi-Wan show is coming out. I'm more excited about that than anything. I think it's going to be great. It has Ewan McGregor in it playing Obi-Wan again, which was the best part of the prequels. And they're bringing back Hayden Christensen as Anakin somehow. And apparently Liam Neeson's going to play Qui-Gon Jinn again. So, I mean, what more could you ask for? Yeah, that's enough about that. Hello. The chat is kind of dead. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Everybody had a drink? I know it's kind of early in the day, especially on the West Coast. I'm talking to my European friends out there. In Europe over there, it's what? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock p.m., depending on where you are. Perfect time to have a drink. Tullia says he wants this hoodie. Are you talking about my hoodie? My Buried Realm hoodie? You can totally get one. They are for sale. It's a pretty nice hoodie. I wear it all the time. It's kind of thin, so it doesn't really keep you very warm. But I don't care. It's a cool hoodie. And to represent Buried Realm, I will always represent Buried Realm. I've talked about them before, but I've done some guest vocals for Buried Realm on both of their albums. It's my buddy Josh. Makes incredible technical death metal that's also kind of power metal-ish a little bit, like power metal riffs, but death metal, and insane guitarist, and he has lots of cool guests on his music, lots of cool guest guitarists and solos and stuff like that, and then he also gets me to do all the clean singing on a lot of the tracks, so it's fun to work with him. Glad to hear everything's doing well. Live in Liverpool. Hello from the UK. Well, thank you. Appreciate that, big 666 Jim. What are your thoughts on SF in music? Well, I don't know what the fuck that means. What is SF? Let me see if I can guess what it is. Thoughts on SF in music. Silent farts. Yeah. Stinky ferrets. Science. Excuse me. Science fiction. Thoughts on science fiction and music? Yeah, why not, man? I love it. You know, there are bands that do that very well, that are science fiction-y bands. Scar Cemetery is one of them. Rings of Saturn. I mean, that's the one that comes to my head first. I mean, they're literally an alien band. Everything's about aliens. I love science fiction in music. It's fun. I mean, you know, I kind of did a science fiction album with Recode The Subliminal. The second album we did was like a sci-fi story. I don't really listen to a lot of bands like that, only because, like, obviously, if the you know, whatever the theme is, the music has to be good too. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, every band has their own thing. So I mean, if there's a band that focuses on sci-fi, then cool. As long as the music is good, I will enjoy it. But I like that, you know, because a lot of the music that I make and a lot of the music that I listen to is very, like, personal. It's always about personal struggles and social issues and things like that. But then to have something that's very disconnected from that, that's just fun to listen to. It's just a story. It's cool. I like stuff like that. Tullius wants me to talk about my opinion on power metal singers, excuse me, such as Tobias Sammet, Tommy Karavik, etc. I think your clean voice would fit pretty well in power metal, in a power metal song. Well, thank you. Yeah, so Tommy Karavik, who now sings for Camelot. He started out in a band called Seventh Wonder. I'm a fan of both bands. If you haven't listened to Seventh Wonder, please do. It's such fun music. It's like poppy prog, rock metal. Like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just fun music. It's always very lighthearted. They don't have a lot of dark songs. I mean, they had an album about, with a kind of a dark story, but like the feel of the music is always very like light and playful and very fun to listen to. And his voice is just crazy. That guy does some crazy things with his voice. So I love Tommy. Actually, we're going to get Tommy. I'm going to try to get him on the next Enigmatic Entrance album. Since we're getting all these guests, I'm trying to get all these people that I look up to. And Tommy's a person I look up to. And I've talked to him a couple times. I've sent him covers. He's always one of those people that when I send him a cover, whether it's Camelot or Seventh Wonder, he always replies. He always tells me. He's always very encouraging. Oh, good job, Ryan. Thanks for doing that. Take care. He's a very nice guy. Very sweet guy. And because I'm in with Alex Landenberg, the drummer from Camelot, and Jake E. is a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of Tommy's as well. I think we're going to get Tommy on the next album. And also Zaire from Mirath. I'm going to reach out to him as well because he's in with all of those dudes as well. Tobias Sammet. Yeah, he sings in Avantasia. I'm not a huge fan of his voice. I mean, he's good. He's really good. I've listened to a little bit of Avantasia. I did an Avantasia cover with Giannis Papadopoulos from Beast in Black long time ago, back in 2014. I don't know, he's good. I don't really know him very well. I don't know his music very well, so I don't really have an opinion. But yeah, I mean, power metal singers are a different breed of people. They're like opera singers that don't want to sing opera. They love rock music. So they're very technical singers. They're very trained, usually classical voices, and they can sing stuff that the average person can't. So I'm always impressed when I hear a good power metal singer. Some of them get to be a little draining after a while, kind of like nails on a chalkboard. If you have because when a power metal voice is a voice that is usually trained to sing tenor or higher, and voices that are trained to sing almost always in a high register have a very specific sound. So if you have a guy that has trained his high voice to be what he wants it to be, and he's singing in the band, if that voice does not have a tone that's pleasing to my ear, then the band I can't listen to them anymore. So, they're a lot of power metal singers are not very diverse. They have a very strong voice that they use for every song. And so if their voice it has like a weird tone or something that doesn't sit right with me, then I just can't listen to them. So it takes a very specific power metal singer for me to really be into them. But yeah, I like power metal. Who doesn't? I used to listen to Iced Earth a lot before, the whole thing with the guitarist being a terrorist and all that. But I liked his name just fell out of my head. Tim Owens. Tim Ripper Owens. I loved his voice. I love voices like that. He used to sing he filled in Judas Priest for a while. And then he sang for Iced Earth a little bit in between when Matt Barlow was a part of the band. I like Matt Barlow too. But Matt Barlow has a different voice. Like, he sings with Iced Earth is kind of a power metal band. I don't really think that they classify as pure power metal. The kind of like 80s heavy metal mixed in with that. But now he has a very diverse voice. He can sing very low and very full, very resonant, and then he can also go up into that high voice. And I like stuff like that. So I used to listen to him a lot. A little more easier to sing along to. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Camelot. I don't think I need to say that. Roy Khan, I think, has one of the coolest voices ever. You can say whatever you want about the technicality of his voice, but I don't care about that. I'm all about the emotion. That's usually what I listen to. I want to hear a singer that's good at conveying emotion. And Roy Khan is one of those people, which is kind of why I like In Flames a lot. I was always attracted to Anders' voice in In Flames because he has a very emotional voice. You can say whatever you want about the technicality of his voice, but the emotion is very easily conveyed, and that's what I really appreciate when I listen to music, is a singer that can really put across what he's singing and that feels every word. Somebody who is a good technical singer, they may sing the song very well, but they can also be boring because you don't feel what they're singing. So I pay a lot of attention to vocals, obviously, when I listen to music. Let's see, Shadow of Intent. What about them? I've heard of them. I feel like I know who they are. I'm not going to play them at the moment because I don't want to get my video blocked in any way. So, Shadow of Intent. I'll check them out later. I know I've listened to them in the past. If I don't listen to them now, there might be a reason why I don't. Maybe they just didn't catch my ear very well. Have you ever experienced vocal damage? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever had damage. I've had like a throat infection before, which I think was just from being sick. I think I've had a throat infection twice, which is really painful. It's like a sore throat, but it's like painful. It's so sharp and it hurts, and every time, like any swallowing is just so painful that I have to like cringe. And it's so uncomfortable, and it lasts a couple days, and I just like load up on tea and honey. But I mean, that was years and years ago, and I don't think that was due to singing. I think that was just me being sick. But I've never damaged my voice by singing or screaming or anything like that. I mean, my voice gets worn out. You know, if I spend a day recording, you know, my voice will be worn out for the next couple of days or few days. But no, I've never done any damage as far as I know. I mean, I've never gone to like a throat doctor or anything. Yeah. Yeah, Roy Khan, man. He does have a super unique voice. I haven't heard many singers that sound like him. There's a guy that sings in a band. I'm trying to remember the name of it now. I have to find it now because I'm going to go crazy if I don't. I think he's in a couple of bands, but one of the bands he's in, I think, is called Sunburst. Let me look that up real quick. Sunburst. No, not Sunburst Shutters. Sunburst Band. Yeah. No. Not the Sunburst Band. Jesus Christ. Yes. So it's a metal band called Sunburst, and the singer's name is... If anybody can tell me before I look it up, I think somebody might know already. He has a voice that's very similar to Roy Khan's, and I think that he developed his voice by listening to Roy Khan because it's very similar. He sings like the same, like he has the same accent almost. So I don't know if he's from the same area, but yeah, Sunburst. Check them out. I think they have one album out. And so if you like Roy Khan's voice, you will like Sunburst as well. Maybe. But yeah, Roy Khan. I can go on all day about Roy Khan. His Stuff with Conception is very good. You are correct. Even their like original albums, they're ones from like 1990, 1992. Roy has always been good. His voice has changed a lot. It's been through a huge evolution. Like he used to sing super high, and then I think he kind of wore out his voice a little bit with Camelot. So his voice dropped down a little bit, but it's still like, I just love the theatricality of his voice. It's very operatic, very theatrical. Like I said, he puts so much feeling into every word that he just keeps you on the edge of your seat. And if you watch him sing live, like I've watched the Camelot DVD, One Cold Winter's Night, at least 20 times. And I've watched clips of it many more times than that on YouTube. And just watching him sing is amazing because he's just so into it that his whole body's like crunching up. And he's like, ugh! You know, he looks like he's creaming his pants the whole time. But it's because he's putting so much power and emotion into every note. Some people like his voice and some people don't like it. But, I mean, It is what it is. I love it. The new Conception album that came out last year, that was my top album for 2020. I listened to that so much that basically when I checked my at the end of the year, when you look at Spotify and it tells you like your top tracks of 2020, it was just that album. Like it was basically just that and Pink Floyd. Yeah, I love his voice so much, and everything about him, like the way that he writes. His lyrics are very poetic, and I don't know, it's very theatrical, basically, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, very theatrical. Welcome to the stream, Nando. I see you liking my posts all the time. You're like always the first person to like my posts, so I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. And you're right, Tommy is a good singer in Camelot. I think he's doing good work. I think I kind of, the more albums that he puts out with Camelot, the less I'm interested in the band anymore. Like their last album that they came out with, I don't even have it. I listened to it and I was just kind of bored with it. Like he's really good. They're still such a good band, but like the feeling is not the same. It doesn't have the same feel. It feels more modernized now than it used to be. Camelot used to be very like power metal. It used to be like very medieval, and then Roy kind of took they kind of progressed from that and got to be a little more modernized, but it was still very theatrical, and it felt very like Victorian almost, like it still felt like an old style, and it felt, you know, different. But now that Tommy's in the band, it's very modernized, and it doesn't have the same feel. It's not that it's not good. It's very good, but it doesn't have the same feel. So it just doesn't catch my attention as much. I still love Tommy as a person and as a singer. He's so good. But yeah, anyway. I'm studying a lot and saw your post on Facebook when I took a break. Came here as fast as I could. Well, thanks for coming again. Hey, Alex. Welcome. Nando says that he's my biggest fan. I thank you. I think that title is claimed by a few people, though. I know a few biggest fans. So, but you know what? You're here and they're not. So I think you take the title. Numb in number. It's pronounced like the numb in number, but with an N instead of an M, like a Nundo. Nundo. So your name is Nundo. Nundo Lopez. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Can you run through Cold as the Night and tell us which parts were you and which parts were duets? Sure, I can do that. Let me pull up the song real quick. Yeah, that was a thing that a lot of people had to say about that song, is that they couldn't tell what was me and what was Bjorn, which is a huge compliment to me. I think you guys can hear that, right? So, in this song, I'm singing the first verse. So this is me. Against your skin, feel the power rising from within. Your eyes do not deceive you. I am what you become. And then this is Bjorn, obviously. And then I scream behind him here. So that backup scream is me. That's all Bjorn right there. And then there's me in the background going, oh! It's just me right there. Second verse is all Bjorn. You know the truth that I can see in your eyes. And then I come up and do background screams again. So really the song is like 75% Bjorn. So I'm doing background screams here, but they're very low. So that's me there. That's good. This is all me. Become Bjorn. Me. Bjorn. And then both of us. It's probably my favorite part of the whole album right there. Just that one line. Me and Bjorn screaming over each other. So obviously I'm screaming behind him here. Yes, I just jumped the gun. So savor the days that you have left. Take what you have, make it run. It's within you, so just jump the gun. Last goodbye. Yeah. So, mostly a Bjorn song with me kind of backing him up. So I just do like the first verse on my own, and then the rest of it's just kind of mostly him and then me backing him up. But yeah, that's why I picked him for that song, because I was listening to it, and the little riff right in the intro, I think I said this last stream, but I'm going to say it again. The riff right here. This part right here. When I heard that, I was like, Bjorn. It just sounded like a Bjorn song. It sounded like something Bjorn would sing on. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey man, got this song. Please do it. And he liked it. Nundo says my cleans are better. Well, it's a matter of opinion, but I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I think I do sing things differently than Bjorn does. I think I can sing things that he probably couldn't, just like he can sing things that I can't. We have different ways of singing. I think I can get a little more operatic than he can. He has more of a rock metal voice. But I mean, there's stuff that he sings that I can't sing. So, I don't like to compare. Did you have to record after him to match his tone? So I did record after him, not to like match him, but I gave him the blank song and I said, here's a blank song, do whatever you want with it, basically. And I gave him some ideas, like the melody that he sang there in the chorus was a melody that I came up with. I said, this is what I'm thinking for the chorus, and he liked what I did, so he stuck with that. And then the second verse was just all whatever he wanted to do. And then in the bridge, I told him, let's kind of go back and forth, and then I'd like to scream over each other right before the solo. So he wrote that specifically for what I asked for, which was really great. And then once I got his vocal tracks, I just immediately, I was in the middle of working. I was at work, but I was working from home. I took my laptop over and I just turned on my computer and I just wrote the rest of that and recorded my parts and got it done the same day, like within the next hour or two. And so I mean, I wouldn't say that I tried to match his tone. I think I kind of automatically do that anyway. I think maybe I did a little bit, only because I wanted it to. I mean, that's how I scream anyway. For that style of song, that's how I would have sounded. But I think hearing his tracks, then obviously inspired what I was going to do. And it just kind of turned out the way it did. So, I'm happy with it. You know, people like that song. That's all I can ask for. Would you speak about the techniques you usually do or your favorite ones for screaming? I mean, I usually get confused on what's a fry, what's a guttural, etc. You know, like, yeah, the terms, I get confused with the terms. Like, I think my definitions of what what a fry scream is and what a false chord scream is have switched over time. I think I used to get the two confused because I didn't really know. I think I have a better understanding now. But to me, like, the way that I do vocals, everything is so mixed that I'm doing all of the styles, like, at once. Like, I can scream a phrase, and I'll do 3 different vocal styles in that phrase to get the sound that I want. Because, like, when I'm doing the lower stuff, I'm in a different style of screaming, and then when I go up higher, I flip up into that higher fry scream. I don't really have a favorite. I mean, I like doing all of it because I like doing whatever fits. I like being able to do so many different styles, because when Timo sends me the songs for Enigmatic Entrance, they're so diverse. Like, he writes these songs that are, you know, they're like on the verge between power metal and melodic death metal, and it gives me a lot of room to try different things. So I had a lot of fun experimenting, and, you know, each part of the song, each riff just calls out for a different vocal style. So, like, as soon as I hear it, I already know what kind of scream I'm going to do, and I like having the freedom to do, you know, the different ones that I know. So if I want to do, like, that In Flames, really, like, thin, screechy, like, eagle scream, wow! I can do that, but then I can also go into a more gritty, you know, that kind of thing. And I try to be theatrical as well. I try to it's like I'm playing a character. I'm doing voices and telling a story with the voice. Maybe overreaching what I'm actually doing, but that's what I feel like I'm doing. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, fry, when you think of a fry scream, it's always more on the higher end. I think it's really hard to do fry lows. Some people can do them really well. I kind of struggle with them. Yeah, I can't do it right now because I've been drinking fucking scotch, but that's really hard for me to do. So when I do lows, I always go into more of the like that really airy low. And then when I go up into the highs, like the higher I get, the more fry scream I add to it, so then it gets to like that screechy thing that I do. It's all fun to me. I don't know, I like doing all of it. I like to be able to incorporate all styles. Hey Ryan, just want to hear your opinion on something. Who do you think fits better in Camelot, Roy Khan or Tommy Karavik? So I think you just missed that conversation by about 10 minutes because I just went over that, but I will say it again. I think Roy Khan, obviously, to me, was my favorite voice in Camelot, because that's the voice that I first discovered Camelot in 2010, like right before Roy left, and I became obsessed. I was obsessed with his voice in both Camelot and Conception. And then I knew about Tommy before he joined Camelot because he was in Seventh Wonder, or he still is in Seventh Wonder, and I loved his voice too. I was a fan of both bands. So then when I found out that Tommy was then taking over for Roy, I was like, woo! I was so excited because I was so glad they got somebody that I already knew. And like I was saying earlier, like, Tommy's a great singer in Camelot. He sounds great with the band. They're obviously doing very well. Like, they've become a huge band, like way bigger than they ever were. But to me personally, the music doesn't have the same feel that it used to have when Roy was singing. Roy was very theatrical, like I said, different style of writing. His voice was just so unique. Tommy, he's a very good technical singer, but I feel like it's lost a lot of the emotion. Like, I don't feel as connected to it when Tommy's singing. And I don't really know why that is. I think it's more of a personal thing for me. I think other people may agree with me. I don't know. But I still love Tommy. I think he's a great singer, music that he makes. But for Camelot, I prefer Roy Khan. Whenever I listen to Camelot now, I always go listen to the era with Roy singing. Unless I'm listening to a specific song that Tommy sings. But, like, I don't really keep up with them anymore as much as I used to. Like, their last album, I listened to it almost all the way through. I didn't make it through. I got bored. I turned it off. So, I don't know. Enigmatic Entrance is here. That is Timo. Timo's here. He says it would be so interesting to go through Becoming Daylight songs and hear your different screaming approaches when it's out. Yeah, I do different things. And it may throw you off when you're listening to it because like you'll hear Under Raven Wings and I have very specific like In Flames style screaming that I do through the whole thing. And then when the next song comes on, I'm doing something different. And it's more like Children of Bodom, like that very like gritty, like monster scream. And I switch back and forth between different things depending on what mood I'm trying to convey. So it's a very diverse record. Every song sounds different. I do something different in every song. I feel like I do anyway. I don't know. So whether that's a good thing or not, hopefully you guys like it. How is C4TM? That's a really good question. How is C4TM? My other band, Chaos for the Masses. Right now we're kind of at a quiet moment. There's not a lot going on. Mostly because of quarantine. Like it's hard for those guys to get together. Like they actually get together. They all live in the same area in Vienna, Austria. So they get together and they write together, and they like to be in the same room when they're writing songs. And they've had a hard time doing that for whatever reason. There's like a curfew and all kinds of bullshit over there in Vienna. So we have a lot of songs like in the works. They sent me a lot of instrumentals. Some of them I've written lyrics for, and they're like ready to record. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I've been kind of putting it off, only because Norbert from that band, he's also producing the Enigmatic Entrance record. So I'm kind of letting him finish that first. I don't want to put more stuff on him because I want this record to be done. I don't want to put anything else on his plate that's going to delay it any further. So I'm kind of focusing on this first, and then as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go back to recording some more C4TM songs. And we have some really good songs coming out. Like, they're going to blow our older songs out of the water. They sound very modern, very well produced, lots of cool effects and things going on, and a lot of good ideas going on over there in that camp. So looking forward to what we're going to do there. I see a lot of people from different bands collaborating on projects similar to what you have been doing with Enigmatic Entrance. Do you think that trend will continue? I think that trend really took off in 2020, and that's what gave me a lot of confidence to do it, because during 2020, everybody's in quarantine. And so you had all these musicians that were normally touring all the time, and now they were stuck at home, and they had nothing to do. And they, a lot of them have home studios. A lot of them work from home, recording and writing songs for people. So it was a good opportunity to start reaching out. And that's how we got a lot of these people to say yes, because they just had nothing else going on, or they needed to make money, or whatever the deal was. And so this, I feel like we got very lucky with our timing, because I think if quarantine wasn't happening and everybody was touring and everybody was doing everything they normally did, we wouldn't have gotten as many cool people involved as we did. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like that's true. Because that's what I said when I reached out to Jake from Sara. We had already connected. We were already friends at that point. But I had never asked him to collaborate on anything. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, so because you're, in quarantine right now, I see you don't have a lot going on. Do you want to do a song with me? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, he was able to do that because he had the time. Yeah. Welcome to the stream, Turpentine 300. Good day. Stig. I also flip when I go to lows. My lows feel more rumbly and my highs feel more vibraty. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, when I do lows, it's totally different from when I do highs. That's just how I've always done it. It's what I'm comfortable with. So my lows are very different. Like if you look at the recordings, and you can see the block when you record, and you see the waveform in there. Like my high screams, my mid-range screams are just very solid, thick waves, and then my lows are more thin because they're quieter. I try to give more power to those, but there's a lot more air involved in there, so it's a little more quiet. It's still loud as fuck, but it's a lot quieter than my regular screams. Yeah. Thank you, Nundo. He says he's addicted to Enigmatic Entrance and Chaos for the Masses. Well, thank you. What about Recode The Subliminal? I don't want to give too much away, but I'm just going to say that me and the boys from Recode, there's been some talk. We're talking about speaking to each other again and possibly working on some new stuff. There's nothing solid, nothing that I can really say for sure right now, but there has been a lot of talk. So, yeah, see how that goes. Anybody else have a drink? How's everybody doing today? Where are you guys from? Where do you live? What country are you from? I always love seeing that. They used to blow my mind. Like years ago, I used to post on my Facebook page. I used to ask people to post what country they're from. And I used to see countries that I hadn't even heard of. So I got a big geography lesson from you guys. I appreciate that. It's amazing to see where everybody's from. It's always fun. Enigmatic Infinity. Yeah, that's an inside joke. I know a guy, I don't want to go too into detail in case he shows up, but I know a guy that every time he talks to me about Enigmatic Entrance, he calls it something else. Like he called it Enigmatic Infinity at one point, and then I think he called it Enigmatic Eternity as well. And I didn't correct him. I was just like, oh yeah, okay. I don't know. What are you going to do? You keep forgetting to listen to Recode The Subliminal. Yeah, so if you go listen to Recode The Subliminal, I think it's older. So obviously I judge it very harshly. I think I made a lot of bad choices vocally. Or not really bad choices, but poor choices that I would have done better if I had written it now. But I think that's the case with anybody. I mean, of course, you're going to always judge your older stuff more harshly. So, you know, it is what it is. I still like everything we've done. You know, the first album I think was super solid. I listen to it every once in a while. Our song At the End from the first album is like the most popular song that I've ever put out. It's like, for some reason, it has like 170,000. No, it has like way more than that on Spotify, I think. Let me see. Well, that's been like the most popular song I've ever done. It's really like the first song I ever wrote, too. I mean, I did stuff with Sea of Trees, but as far as like writing a solid song, it has 700,000, over 700,000 listens on Spotify. Just that one song, At the End. Yeah, so check it out. It's from 2016. It's a really good album. My buddy Tullius, he did the artwork for both albums. The second album we did in 2018 called Disconnected, a little bit different. The production, I think, was not as full as the first album, but it's cool songs. I still like it. A lot of cool choruses there. We did a cool duet with a female singer. She was really good, and it turned out to be a really cool song. That one's more of like a sci-fi story, whereas the first album was just more like separate songs. Second album was a coherent story from beginning to end. So yeah, check that out, man. I think you'll like it. Like melodic metalcore, I call it. Almost verging on melodic death metal, but not quite. It's more metalcore than anything else. Do you still live near Wichita Falls? No, I have not been that way in a long time. I used to work near there. I used to live in Texas, and I used to drive trucks to the post office, and I used to have to drive up a couple hours north up to Wichita Falls every day to pick up either a car or a truck, depending on which shift I was working. And no, I haven't been over that way in a long time. After I left Texas in 2012, I moved up to Oklahoma for a while, for like a year. Moved up to Oregon for like a year, and then I lived in Washington for like the last 6 years. But now I'm back in North Carolina. Cary, North Carolina. Yeah. You've been following me since you heard Ringside Seat cover. Ringside Seat to Human Tragedy by Disharmonia Mundi, featuring Christian Alveston on vocals. That's a great song, and that's a pretty good cover. You know, the only thing I didn't like about that cover that I did, not the audio, but the video, because I had learned all the words like that day, and when I was doing the video, I kept forgetting the words. So I don't know if you noticed in the video, but like I keep like looking down because I'm like reading the words, and I still kept messing them up. But I was so tired, I was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. So I just put up the video with me kind of like messing up a little bit, but it's just the video. I didn't care. Like the audio was already done, so yeah. What new music have you been listening to lately? So I went over that in the beginning. Not a lot of new music. I mean, anything new, I'll find like a new band and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. And I'll listen to it like once and then I'll forget about it. So I haven't really been caught by anything too new. Like I mentioned the band Sorted Pink. I've been kind of jamming them lately, but not a lot. Whenever I listen to music, it's always like old stuff that I'm familiar with. I don't really keep up with a lot of new releases. Okay, Nundo, I've gone through the covers. The YouTube channel Loss helped you with over 600 hours on your new channel, so I can monetize it. Well, I appreciate that. And I listen to every new material I can. Well, dude, you've been there for a long time. I really appreciate you saying all that. Yeah, the YouTube channel Loss. How about that, huh? For those of you who don't know, this is my second YouTube channel. I had a YouTube channel before this that was 10 years old. I had 36,000 subs. Hey, John G is here. Yeah, I had 36,000 subs. I had been working on that channel for so long. I had so many like classic, iconic videos on that channel. And then one day I woke up and it was gone. And I never got it back. Apparently, a comment that I had made, not on my own channel, mind you, not on my own video, but I commented on somebody else's video. And for some reason, that comment got flagged for child endangerment. I have no idea what I could have said that endangered a child, but they would not tell me what I said. They refused to tell me, and they refused to even give me a chance to reinstate my channel. There was nothing I could do. It took me like months and months of like waiting for replies from these people. Nothing came of it, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just do a new channel. And I kind of liked it because my old channel was like so spammed with random people and old videos and stuff. So this new channel kind of gave me a chance to like really condense everything and really put up what I was proud of and start new things. And all the people that really followed me came over with me and followed me to the new channel. And all the people that never really cared at all, just kind of, they forgot about it because they weren't paying attention anyway. So it gave me a chance to like really bring everybody in closer and kind of start over fresh. And I don't know if it really affected things too much. I mean, it's not like I ever had like a huge video or anything like that. Never had anything like go viral. So I didn't really lose much, but it was really disappointing for a while. Like I had a hard time dealing with that. I was really pissed off for a while. And I still don't really know what happened. There's nothing I can do about it. Like I gave up on that channel. Like I can't even log into YouTube on that account anymore. I had to make a whole new Gmail and all that stuff. Because if I try, even to this day, if I try to log in, it's like, there's an error. You are banned. I was like, fuck, there's no second chance at all. Like they would not tell me what I did. That's what pissed me off. Like at least tell me what I said so I don't say it anymore. What did I say that endangered a child? Like I really want to know. I want to like be a better person. What did I say? Teach me so I can be better. But nope, they won't tell me. So, okay. John G is here. Welcome, John. So John G has a YouTube channel called John G Reacts, and he does reaction videos to metal songs. And I've been following him for a long time, and I know he's been following me for a long time. And we haven't really talked that much, but I hopped in his stream the other day. And it was funny, I hopped in his stream because he was doing a live stream where he was reacting to songs live, and I hopped in because I wanted to send him Cold as the Night to listen to. And as I was joining, the video popped up, and he already had that song up. That was going to be his first song he's reacting to. So I was like, oh shit, he's already doing it. So that was cool. Yeah. Super nice guy. And he actually inspired me to start doing these live streams. So the streams that I'm doing on Monday, where I'm reacting to your music, your guys' music, was heavily inspired by him. I saw that he was using, he told me what program he uses, and then I saw that he had like the notepad on the side with the rules on it and stuff, and the chat on the side like I have now, and I thought that was cool. So I started doing that too. Let's see. Hello, Kilzar. I really try to pronounce your guys' names. I really do. I try my hardest. Welcome. Yeah, fun stuff, man. How many people we got in here right now? 11. How are all 11 of you doing today? Today's Wednesday, smack dab in the middle of May. This is the last thing on my calendar for this month. I have nothing else to do. No vocal lessons. I guess I have some songs I should be recording. I have a long list of songs I need to write and record, and I'm not doing it. John G. actually got rid of the Reacts thing. Okay, so you're just John G now. You're not John G Reacts. Okay, you're John G. Well, that's good, because, yeah, you need to diversify your channel a little bit. I hear that. Yep. How do you guys feel about reaction videos? Do you guys like watching reaction videos to things? Like, I used to kind of, like, pick on it a lot. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Nope, not picking that up. Because, like, everybody has their opinion on reaction videos. And I think there are there are way too many reaction channels. I think there are too many people trying to do it, but they're being fake. There are too many fake people. And I hate the clickbait thumbnails, where they're, everything's, oh my fucking God! Like they've never heard anything ever in their whole life. And it's like, just chill out. Just be yourself. But there's so many people that really, like, profit off of that stuff. And then every time I see a thumbnail like that where somebody I'm like, I'm not watching that. Because then you watch the video and they don't make that face in the video. Like, that's just a picture they took to make people click on it. But I do like reaction videos for some things, because when you watch a reaction to something that you are familiar with, like a song that you like, or like a comedy bit, or like a clip from a show, whatever it is, you kind of feel like you're watching it with that person. And if there's something that is good, and you want other people to watch it, so you watch somebody reacting to it, and then you see them react, and if it's like a genuine person, like really being themselves, and you see how they react to it, it makes you feel good, because it feels like you're watching it with that person, and they're laughing at the same thing that you were laughing at, and they're enjoying the same parts of the song that you were enjoying. And to watch somebody like enjoy something that you also enjoy is pretty cool. I don't know. So I think there is something to this whole reaction thing. But there are a lot of people out there just doing it for the money, or doing it for the views, and they only watch really popular things, and they have the clickbait thumbnails and stuff like that. And you know what? More power to them. But if I see stuff like that, I just don't click on it. I like people that are who they are. I like people who are genuine. And that's what I've always tried to do. I've always tried to stay genuine. Like, I know that there are things that I could do on my YouTube page to get more views, but there are things that I just don't enjoy doing. I don't want to do stuff like that, So I try to keep it as real as possible. But yeah, some people have really good personalities. There are people that I've been watching reaction videos to for years that, like, there are a couple of guys, you might know them. There's a guy, he goes by the name Nem Raps. He watches just videos like memes and stuff like that, memes and TikToks, and he reacts to them. But he's a real person. He's a real guy. He's really reacting to them. And a lot of times he's just like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, you know, he has a very real reaction to things where, you know, like there's a meme that everybody thinks is funny and he'll see it and he'll be like, you guys are fucking stupid. And there's another guy I like to watch, Tyrone Magnus. He's so funny to watch. I love watching him react to things because watching him laugh, or his laugh is so funny, first of all. And then watching him try not to laugh is the funniest part because he really tries not to laugh. He starts and he's like, game face. And then he tries not to laugh and like he'll like his whole body's cringing. He's like, because like some of the stuff he watches is good. Anyway, enough about that. Hello, Onder Ozturk. I hope I'm saying your name right. Once again, dude, I know you for 10 years. 10 years. Thank you. What is your motivation to write a song? What is my motivation to write a song? My motivation to write the song is that it needs to be written, and I just got to do it. I don't really have motivation. I don't have motivation anymore. It takes a lot to get motivated by things, and that's the problem, is that I had to kind of learn that I'm not just going to find motivation. I can't wait for motivation to strike. Like I'm even now, I'm in this point where it's really hard for me to do things. It's really hard for me to want to sit down and write, where I know that if I do it, if I sit down, I open up Reaper, I pull up the song, I get my notepad out, I know that the song is going to come together and I'm going to be able to write it. And it's not going to take me very long, and I'm going to come up with good ideas, and I know that I can do it. But to actually sit down and do it, for some reason, it's just so difficult. And I will let days go by, I will let weeks go by, and I will feel so guilty the whole time, thinking, oh, I should be writing that song. And everything I do that's not writing that song, I feel guilty about doing it. I'll sit on the back porch, you know, just whatever, flipping around my phone, or, you know, having a drink and smoking some pot or whatever, and I'll be sitting there thinking, I should be writing that song. Oh, I'm so lazy. I should be doing it. And I feel so guilty. And I sit there and I wait for motivation to strike, and motivation doesn't strike on its own. You have to make your motivation, because I'll find that as soon as I sit down and I start, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to fucking do it. I'll sit down and I'll turn on the song and I'll start writing it, and it'll just start. It'll just flow immediately. Because I know I can do it. It's just a matter of getting started. Like once I start, then I'm in the mood to keep going. And then I'll write a song and I'll feel so good that I wrote that song. But, oh my God, I wrote the song, and I'll share it with the people that I'm working with. And then it'll make me motivated to work on something else. And I'm like, all right, well, now that I'm in the mood to work, let me work on the next thing, you know? And it's like, once I lose that momentum, then the motivation also dies off. So I'm kind of in a mood lately where it's really hard for me to do things. But thankfully, I don't have a lot of deadlines at the moment. So I'm very casual about my schedule. But yeah, as far as like inspiration and stuff like that, I get inspiration just very randomly. I draw a lot of inspiration from things that happen in my life, certain ideas. Like I spend a lot of time watching videos about philosophy and science, and I'm very big on philosophy and all the different views, all the different philosophies that all the smart people from our history have had, and I like to listen to what everybody thinks about what the world is and what life is and what it means to exist, and all that stuff is very interesting to me. So sometimes there'll be like a certain line that somebody says or a certain phrase that really catches my attention, some like really catchy phrase, and I'll think about that for a while, and that'll generate some ideas to write a song about. Sometimes I just write things about just stuff that I'm interested in, or things that happened to me. A lot of the songs that I write are very personal, especially on this album. a lot of them are about personal feelings that I've had in the past year, personal things that have happened or personal experiences that I've had. There are some songs, a couple of songs there about like my childhood and things that happened to me in my childhood. There's a song on the album that I'm really looking forward to hearing mixed. It's called A Sanguine Dream. And A Sanguine Dream is about how when we look back at our childhoods, we kind of think of it as a better time. Like we kind of always long for the past. We're always longing like, oh, I wish I could be a kid again. You know, we look at our own past through rose-colored glasses. And for people that don't know what that phrase means, when you look at something through rose-colored glasses, it means that you're not seeing it for what it really was. You're seeing it as who you are now, and you're looking back and you're saying, oh, it was so much better back then, you know. But then when you take the rose-colored glasses off and you really like examine how things were when you were a kid and how your parents were and how you were raised and the things that happened to you and the traumas that you went through and stuff like that, you start to see your life for what it really was. And so the rose-colored glass goes away. So that's why I called it A Sanguine Dream. I thought that was a cool name for it because, you know, it's kind of a, you know, you kind of think of your childhood as like a dream. It's like, oh, it's like a great thing and I miss being a kid. But then once you realize that's just a dream, it's a rose-colored sanguine dream, then you wake up and you realize a lot of things that were said to me and done to me when I was a kid traumatized me for life. Like I'm still dealing with the repercussions and symptoms of a lot of things that happened when I was a kid. So that's what that song is about. I'm really looking forward to you guys hearing that one. It's a really emotional track, very In Flames inspired. Do a lot of like very inspired by Anders on that song. So really cool track. Okay, I gotta catch up now. I was talking way too long. Okay. Nundo, if you need to go study, please don't let me stop you. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate all the kind words and support over the years, man. Take it easy. Just trying to catch up here. I help you every day. Well, I'm glad that I help you every day. I appreciate that. Do I like trap metal? You know, I couldn't even name one trap metal group or song. I like the idea of it. It sounds cool. If you can recommend something to me that's good trap metal, I will listen to it. Not at the moment, because I don't want to get my stream blocked, but I'll check it out later. On Giver of the Sun, what did you mean by You Sound a False Alarm? What was that song about? So the line is, it's not a false alarm. It's not a false alarm. I don't know. That song is about... It's about a couple of things. There's a few meanings in that song. But... So, Giver of the Sun directly references our own consciousness. Because there is no light, there is no sun without our consciousness. Like, we only see it because our brains connected to our eyes, we evolved over millions of years to be able to see, and light just happens to be the thing that we evolved to see. So we can only see things because we evolved to see light. If we didn't evolve to see light, we wouldn't see anything. If there were no eyes, there's no reason for there to be light. Light would not exist. We would not know what light was unless we had eyes that evolved to see it. So to me, Giver of the Sun is kind of a reference to our own awareness, our own consciousness. And the verses in that song, I'm kind of talking about somebody that I know who was not very nice to me. And that song is kind of... There's a few meanings to the words in that song. I have to pull up the words real quick. Hold on. And I'll go over each section. How about that? Let's do that. Here we go. Giver of the Sun lyrics. Okay. I'm kind of nervous about talking about this because some of it's kind of still going on. It's very personal, but so the first verse: celebrate a new arrival. It's bound to your survival. I'm talking about my son, basically. You have a baby. You celebrate the new arrival. It's bound to your survival. So you have to take care of that fucking thing. You can't let anything happen to you, and you can't let anything happen to your baby. I said it once, I'll say it twice. You tried to tear me down. So my child's mother tried to make it as difficult as possible to be his father, and constantly tried to tear me down as a person, talk shit to me all the time, tell me to give up on music, tell me I was fat, tell me I was a terrible father. She would tell me I'm a bad dad, no matter what I did. And so every step of the way trying to be this kid's father, this person was tearing me down. It's not a false alarm. I just kind of threw that line in there. But it does make sense because, when I was trying to tell her family about it, like, this is how she's treating me, this is what she's saying to me, nobody really believed it. They wouldn't take my word for it. And it was one of those things where, like, I'm always feeling like nobody believes me in these situations. I've been in these relationships before where they're very abusive and these really terrible things being said to me. And I try to talk to people about it, and they're just like, nah, no. And they just, like, dismiss it like it's nothing. So that's kind of what that is. Can you hear the sound? A burning cry of a restless soul, which, that's me, the restless soul. Giver of the sun, my consciousness. You define a new dimension. So basically, once I started educating myself and opening up my mind to philosophy and science and how the world works and what it means to be a person and how to be a good person, and it's like it opened up a whole new dimension for me to live in. Like, I'm not living in the same dimension that I used to live in. It's kind of metaphorical. Giving up the ghost. To me, that's like a reference to God, because I think in the other verses I say giving up the gods. So I say giving up the ghost. It means I let go of, like, any supernatural belief that I had. I grew up believing in God, and I gave that up. So I'm in this new dimension. I gave up all ignorant thinking, all backwards thinking, all supernatural thinking, and trying to live a very connected life to the world, like more natural, more real, more in the moment. So giving up the ghost, but still you reach for something more. So, now that I'm in this natural material world where there is no supernatural, now it's like, okay, but it would be nice if somebody could fucking step in and help me out here. Forced into existence, crippled by resistance. I think that sums up life in general. Like, none of us ask to be born. We're forced into this existence, and then we're crippled by resistance. So we're forced to live, but then every step of the way, everything is against us. The government is against us. Capitalism is against us. All the systems that we put in place, everything is set to make it as difficult as possible to live. That's how I was feeling at the time, anyway, when I wrote this song. I said it once, I'll say it again. There's no one else to blame. I'm not really sure who I'm blaming there. At the time when I was writing it, I'm not sure if I was blaming myself or if I was blaming so-and-so. But I'm not alone, haunted by the sound of the restless souls. So I'm not the only person that feels like this. I mean, everybody is having a hard time. Everybody's struggling. Everybody has their struggles in life. And we're all just trying to make it through. So not only am I dealing with this stuff, but I'm also haunted by everybody else. Like, I think about people all the time, and I cry a lot because I think about people. Like, when I see shows about people struggling and being homeless, or losing people or having a hard time, I really connect, because I have like super empathy. I've developed like super empathy, and I wish I didn't, but it's like, once you turn it on, you can't turn it off. And I'm very connected to people and their personal struggles, and I love to see people make it. I love to see people have a dream and then achieve it. Or people that are, like, when I see people go on like those talent shows, like The Voice or America's Got Talent, and they talk about how they never had friends and nobody ever supported them, and they don't think highly of themselves, and they go out there and they're so good, and the crowd just cheers for them and they cry. And like, I love to watch that stuff, because I think a lot of us have been in that place, and I empathize with that very much. Um, yeah, other than that, a lot of repeated words. Given up, no direction. I mean, that's basically where I was in life. I had given up on everything that I was trying to do before. I gave up trying to have the responsible, middle class capitalist life, the American life that you're expected to have. I thought that I was supposed to work a stupid job that I hated, and I thought that life was all about money and bills and getting married and a white picket fence and having babies and all that stuff that I wasn't really interested in. And so I gave it all up. I gave up everything in my life because it was all making me miserable. And then I was left with no direction, because once I gave everything up, I was okay, well, what do I do now? Like, I love music, I love making music, but how am I going to do that? How am I going to do that and actually make a career out of it? And I don't know. But I decided to just try. Because there's no other option for me at this point. Like, I've tried everything else, and there's nothing else that I like doing. Everything else in the world just makes me miserable and sucks to me. So this is the only thing that I feel like I'm decent at, and I'm just putting everything into it now. So, yeah, I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory. The way is locked, the key is lost inside. So the key to figuring this all out is through educating myself, and it's all in I have to put the information in my mind for me to know what to do, because nobody knows what to do unless you learn what to do. Everybody starts out ignorant. We're all blank slates. I think I went over that enough, so I hope that answered your question. Ryan, I was following you since your cover of 16 by Demon Hunter. Thank you. That was in 2011? 2012? Currently playing some Metal Gear Solid 2. Well, enjoy. I've never played Metal Gear Solid. Kadala. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Shin Edgelord. How to scream? You know what? It's a good question I don't know the answer to. I really wish I did. That's the problem I was talking about earlier. I'm giving screaming lessons to people, and it's very difficult to give screaming lessons to people, especially when you never had lessons yourself. So I know how to produce the sounds that I want to make, but I don't know how I do them. So it's very hard to take that and put it into words. So I wish I could tell you how to scream, but I don't. All I can say is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Try new things. One thing that helps when I'm teaching is, I mean, if you don't know how to scream, make a sound that you think is a scream, but then like hold it out and play with that sound. Like, what I'll do is I'll scream, and then I'll strip away the grit of it, so it's just the note underneath. Or I'll do the opposite. I'll get rid of the note underneath and just go straight into like the scream, and I'll kind of like go back and forth and like break it apart into the different layers. Because when you're screaming, there's a lot of overtones and undertones going on, and if you can kind of pick them all apart, then it helps you figure out what you need to do. So that's all I can really say. I originally thought Giver of the Sun meant God, and that you were talking to him. Yeah, that's what I thought a lot of people would think. That's okay. Because depending on what you believe, there's a group of people out there that believe that consciousness itself is God. So, I mean, it depends on what your idea of God is. God could be the universe itself. It could be, whatever you want to define it as. Personally, I don't believe in God anymore. I don't believe in the Christian God. But I'm open to the idea. It's just, I don't see any evidence for it. So, but yeah, I mean, depending on how metaphysical you want to get, sure, it can definitely mean God. Many words are the same as In Flames words. Okay, sure. I mean, In Flames is a big influence of mine. I don't think that I consciously take any words from In Flames. Maybe I do. Subconsciously. Who knows? Thank you. Can I say that I am happy nowadays? Sometimes. I mean, happiness is a temporary thing. It's in the moment. I don't think it's realistic to be happy all the time. I don't think that's possible. I have happy moments. I think most of the time I'm just kind of a mixture of content and anxious. Spend a lot of my time being anxious. Because of the things that I'm going through, I think a lot about problems that I'm going through and things that I'm dealing with. I think about, the situation with my kids and stuff like that, and I think about it all the time, and the helplessness of the situation, the fact that there's nothing I can do. It's kind of hard to let go of control of things in your life. So that's something I had to learn how to do, was kind of let go of control and just say, it is what it is, and I can only do what I can do. But I mean, as far as being happy, sometimes I'm happy. You know when I'm the most happy? When something that I'm working on musically takes a step forward. Like when I hear a new, when Alex Landenberg records a new drum track from one of our songs, and I hear it and I listen to it. That when I wake up and I check my phone and there's like something new there, like maybe Tullia sent us like some art that he's working on for the album, or I hear a new drum track, or I hear like a new mixed song or something like that. That stuff makes me happy. I wake up and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a good day. I start off the day really well, and I listen to it over and over, and I enjoy listening to that. And then kind of like once the fun of that wears off, then I'm just like, okay, back to regular life. I don't know. It comes and goes. Yeah. So, I'm not like miserable all the time. I have my happy moments. Drinking and smoking helps. Don't take that as advice. It helps me. Tullia says he got the message. Yeah, I know, man. I'm waiting on that album cover. Tullius has done all the album art for Enigmatic Entrance, as well as my work with Recode The Subliminal. So he's done like all the singles we put out for the album. He did all the artwork for those and all the videos and everything. And now the next step that we're waiting on is the actual cover art for the album, Becoming Daylight. And we've talked about it, and it's no hurry, man. It's no hurry, but seriously, I'm excited. Because as soon as I get that cover art, I'm going to post it on Facebook, and I'm going to post the track list as well as like all the guests on each song and everything. And then I want to do a video talking about like each track and what it really means. I'm not going to go as in depth as I did with Giver of the Sun, but I'd like to just like the gist of what each song is kind of about, how it came together, what goes on in the song. Because we got some cool stuff. I mean, there are a couple of songs there where we have keyboard solos. I love keyboard solos in music. And we have some really funky keyboard solos going on. They're really fun to listen to. What about the decisions you made about music a while ago? Are they working? Well, it's hard to say. I think a lot of ideas that I've had in the past, a lot of like grand ideas that I've had about like ways to make money and ways to like, I've had ideas of things to start doing, like, oh, I'm going to start doing this every Thursday or whatever. And it just dies off. It just dies off super quickly because I've been the kind of person that if something is not successful immediately, I kind of give up on it. If it's something that I don't really want to do, like there are things that I would try to do like just for attention or just to try to generate views or try to generate some money. And those things didn't work because my heart wasn't in them 100%. I was doing them for a specific reason. And if they didn't work out immediately, like I would think that it was going to work out. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to start this fan club. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when I started the Ryan Strain fan club. And you pay a certain amount and then you join and you're a member for life and you get all these perks and stuff. And I thought that people were going to be like, yeah. Like every time I come up with an idea, I think that everybody's going to be like, yeah. And then I put it out and it's like, nobody gives a fuck. So I kind of stopped doing stuff like that because I realized it wasn't going to work. I'm just trying to focus on music. I think live streaming is a really good thing. That's like the new thing that I'm into now. I really love live streaming because to get you guys in here and talk to you, I think is much more beneficial than anything else. Like just to have a conversation and get to know everybody is a lot more fun, I think, for not only for you guys, but for me. Like this is fun for me to get in here and talk to you guys. And it's a lot less work too. I'm not having to like make anything. I just turn on the stream, I turn on my lights, get my microphone set up, and I'm ready to go, and it's nothing's planned out, and who knows how it's going to go, and it's just fun. So yes, Timo, I'm drinking scotch. Dewar's scotch. Let's see. So there's a follow-up to that question. And what decisions you made, are they working? Like focusing on recordings, lessons, charging for vocal tracks and mixing and stuff like that. So I haven't had anybody reach out to me to mix their vocals. It is what it is. I'm not like super experienced in that field. I'm not a producer. I'm not a sound engineer. I mean, I know how I do it for my stuff, and I have experience doing it with my own vocals. So that service of like mixing vocal tracks for people is more for people that are like starting out and they're doing like covers and stuff, or they're doing vocals for their own music and they just don't have the budget to like hire a legit producer. I'll help them and I'll just make it sound decent, like the way that I do it. So I wouldn't charge much for that at all, but I haven't had anybody hit me up for that. Lessons, I've been given a good amount of lessons, a few every month. I think I've talked to maybe 3 or 4 people so far and given lessons to 3 or 4 people. And some of them come back for more. Some of them, they want to. It's just I was charging a little bit too much. I think I'm dropping my price now from $100 to $50 just to try to get more lessons in. Because I think $100 is way too much to charge, especially since I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, for ghostwriting, that's taken off because Timo over in Enigmatic Entrance is not only does he work with me, he works with a bunch of different people to make all kinds of music. He's working with all different singers and stuff, and some of these singers are kind of famous. I'm not going to say any names yet because these things are not announced, they're not coming out, but he's working with some like popular power metal singers. But some of these guys, they don't want to write their own stuff, so he's been reaching out to me for a few songs now of these popular people that are going to sing on these songs, but he needs somebody to write them. So he trusts that I can write a decent enough song. And so far that's working out. So I'm enjoying doing that as well, because it's cool to write something and then to hear somebody else sing it. That's pretty cool. Your Gigs the Skulls says, I'm thinking about using your Linkin Park cover song in class to teach my students about passion and mimics. Just wanted you to know. Cool. Appreciate that, man. I hope it goes over well. I'm so glad I'm not there to see myself and cringe. Harsh Vocals is here. Popping in and out quickly. Keep it rolling, dude. You're doing great. Giver of the Sun is my favorite so far. Now I shall sleep night. Okay, good night, man. Harsh Vocals is, I've known that guy for years. And I apologize to you if you're still in here. Dude, I'm so sorry we never finished Celestial Furnace. The cover of Celestial Furnace. I'm so sorry. It just never happened. I know that you recorded it the first time. I was supposed to do it. And then a long time went by. And then you updated it with refreshed vocals. And then I still didn't finish it. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. That would have been so cool too. We should probably still do that sometime. But there's just so much stuff that I need to write and record right now. I'm not really focusing on covers. But this guy has really good covers. Harsh Vocals. You can just look up that name on YouTube, Harsh Vocals, and find it. He does some amazing covers. He does Scar Symmetry and Soil Work and all the same, the kind of stuff that I do. But he has a really good voice. Really good at what he does. He hits stuff that I can't hit either. So just check him out. Nundo says, okay, I'm mad as fuck. The landlord is renovating the floor, and every time you answer me, somebody calls me and I can't read the answer. You can't hear the answer. Sorry, buddy. You may have to go back and watch the stream later. Do I have a schedule for the streams? Not really, because it's kind of new. I know that every Monday I'm doing that Monday morning music review at 10 a.m. every Monday, which is like the worst time in the world to do that, but it's the only time I got. Other than that, no, I'm just kind of starting out with these live streams, so kind of whenever I feel like it. Yeah. If you guys have any new ideas of things that I should do, please let me know. That'd be great. Have I had any original artists reach out to me to give me feedback on any of my covers? Excuse me. There have been many occasions over the last decade where the artist or band that I've covered has either replied to me about that cover or they've reached out to me about it. And yeah, been pretty cool. So I'm going to try to remember them all. I think the first real one that I had was back when I did a cover of Symphony X. I did a cover of their song. It was a Symphony X song, whatever it was. And the bassist from Symphony X got wind of it somehow and told me that he liked it. And that was like the first moment for me. I was like, oh, yay. And then after that, I think it was Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder. Somebody shared one of my videos on one of their posts, and he commented on it, and he's like, yeah, I know this guy. He does the best covers of our songs. And I was like, yay. And then the biggest one for me was Bjorn from Soilwork in 2012, shared my original cover of Distance on the Soilwork page, and I woke up to like 700 new subscribers, and it was a big moment for me. In Flames has shared one of my covers before. They shared my cover of Fear is the Weakness. That was fun. Who else? That's how I met my friend Brandon Davis, who used to sing for the band Across the Sun. I did a couple of Across the Sun covers, and the whole band, they were really into it, and I became friends with a lot of them. And now I'm just friends with Brandon, the singer, the ex-singer. He's a good friend of mine now, a good buddy. He's my singing buddy. Every time I go see him in Portland, we go out to like karaoke together, and we always sing together. We get really drunk and we sing. It's always a good time. Who else? Obviously Sara. When I did my Sara cover of Letter to Myself, I don't think I sent it. Oh, I think I did. I sent it to the band, and then Jake from Sara posted it on their page, and we became really good friends, obviously, because now we're doing songs together and stuff. He's trying to get me on the next Sara record, which it could be all talk, but I believe that he's sincere about that. Because I told him he said it first. He's like, we should trade features. I'll guest on your song, you'll guest on my song. I was like, okay, cool. And then months went by, and I was like, hey, by the way, I know you mentioned that, but hey, if you ever need screaming on a Sara song, let me know. And he said, I'm already working on it. So that'd be cool. That would be a big moment if I can get on a Sara record. So hopefully that works out. Fingers crossed. Other than that, I think that was it. I don't know if anybody else has ever... Oh, Tommy Karavik from Camelot is a big one for me. I said that earlier. Every time I've done a Camelot cover of one of his songs, or I've done a Seventh Wonder cover, I send it to Tommy from Camelot, and he always replies. He's such a nice dude. He always replies. He's always very supportive, very encouraging. A lot of these guys are just nice dudes, nice guys. There are some, like, shitheads in the metal genre, but I mean, that's anywhere. You're always going to have shitheads. You're always going to have nice people no matter what you do. So some people I reach out to, they're really nice. Some people I reach out to, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Never mind. I shouldn't talk about it. There was somebody that I wanted on this album that I really look up to, and I think you guys know who I'm talking about. Amazing vocalist. He's in like 20 bands. I named my son after him, his middle name, and I wanted this guy on my album so bad because like he's one of my main influences in songwriting and singing, and that dude was a fucking dick to me. He was a dick to me, and it was so disappointing that he was a dick to me, and disappointing, But it's also not surprising because he also has a reputation for being kind of a dick. So it is what it is. At least I know that I'm never going to work with him. At least I know now that I'm never going to work with him. So I don't have to waste my time and energy trying to reach out to him again. Okay, Kadala, thank you for stopping by. Yes, we will do more of these. When the album comes out, we're going to do a live Q&A and possibly like a live listening party. Maybe we'll do it all in one. But Timo, the guitarist from Enigmatic Entrance and composer, will be here. And we're going to try to get some other people to hop in. I want to get Tolius on here as well because he's our artist, but he's just as much... He's just as much a part of the band as anybody else, I believe. That's how I see it anyway. The artist, whoever does your art, they're just as much a part of the band as anybody else. So I want to get Tolius in here. I want to try to get Devil in here, who does our orchestration. And I'm going to try to get Alex Landenberg and Jake E. and all of those dudes, maybe Bjorn, to pop in, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe Alex will pop in because he's such a nice dude. And Jake too. But we'll see. But yeah, we're going to do a couple live streams before the album comes out. Just for fun. Because I like this. This is fun for me. I do have to pee really bad, though. How am I going to pee? You guys want to listen to something while I pee? You want to listen to me pee? No. Let's play a song while I'm peeing. What should I play? I played all the Enigmatic Entrance songs on my streams already. I've played some Chaos for the Masses songs. Maybe I should go back. Let's play a Recode the Subliminal song while I go pee. I'll even put it up on the screen for you. How about that? Let's listen to Recode the Subliminal at the end. I think most of you know the song, but if you haven't, this is like one of the first songs I ever wrote, and it's still one of my favorites. At the end. I'll be right back. All right, Alex, thanks for coming by. Have a good day at work. See you next time. Yeah, the cover art is cool. I still love it to this day. That's what I love about Tullius's artwork for his cover art and everything, is because there's always like a central object. It's always something different, but there's always one central object. So this one is obviously the dude, the guy that fucking looks like, he's been compared to a lot of people. Some people say it looks like Gandalf. Some people say it looks like Liam Neeson. It's just some random dude. But anyway, there's always a central thing and then something else going on around it. So this album was this dude. The next album, the central thing was the two hands. For Enigmatic Entrance, we have, let's see, where are all of them? Under Raven Wings is, the dude with the actual raven wings. Giver of the Sun is that dude with the sun in his head. Space Drifter, an astronaut. I think Cold as the Night is the only one that's like a little bit different. There's two main things going on there, but it's because there's two people singing, so that works out. Yeah. All right. Aha. I'm getting the hang of this program. I know there are better ways to do all of this. There's like different presets and stuff, but I haven't figured it all out yet. See what we got here in the chat. I'm excited to see Beavis and Butthead react to tracks like these. I wonder how they react to metal. Oh yeah. Are they coming back? Is Beavis and Butthead coming back? Because I thought they like came back for a while and then they went away again. I don't know anything about it. I have to look it up. But that would be cool if like they came back and were like reacting to the current metal scene. I don't know if they will though, but that would be awesome. That would really be something. Yes, sir. Tullius. Yeah, I mean, that's having a centered, like I said, a centered composition, I guess is what it's called. When you have your art and there's like a central theme, one main thing, and then the details around it. Something about that, because I mean, it's a very strong image. Like, it's very strong, like, this is what's going on. And I like that. I like a very strong image. It's not like an abstract thing where it's, it's just whatever. Like, it's something that's very memorable. When you have one item in the middle, whether it's that old homeless guy, it's the two hands holding, it's, the guy with the wings on his back, even the other cover art you've done for the other Enigmatic songs, there's always some kind of central thing, a noun, a person, an object or something. And I like that because it's a very strong thing. It's like, this is what's going on. I appreciate that about the art. So we've been going for about almost 2 hours now. Everybody still hanging in there? I'm almost out of scotch. This was the last of the scotch, by the way, so once this is out, it's all gone. But I will be going out to a bar tonight. Wednesday is open mic, and my dad's going to want to go, and he's probably going to make me sing something. Every Wednesday, I say, I don't think I want to go out tonight. And then I do. And then I go to open mic and I say, I don't really feel like singing tonight. And then I do. Everybody talks me into it. Oh my God, are you going to sing tonight? Oh my God, what are you singing tonight? I don't feel like it. You're not going to sing tonight? I don't feel like it. Why? Okay, I'll do it. All right, Tullius, thanks for dropping in. Enjoy your shower. Take pictures, please. Thank you. All right, so our questions are kind of dwindling at the moment. So I think we're reaching the end of our stream. It's been almost 2 hours. I think we got a good Q&A session in here. Any more In Flames vocal covers soon? Probably not anytime soon, only because I'm not focusing on covers at the moment. I'm doing a lot of original music, and I just don't have the time to focus on covers. I only have one cover in the works right now, and I'm only doing it because there's a group of people that are making this cover. It's like a full band cover. So it's a Camelot song. We're doing Sacrimony, which will be a fun song. I know that song very well, so that'll be fun. Yeah, karaoke's fun. I've been doing some karaoke lately. I just got into karaoke a couple years ago. I did it for the first time, and it's fun. It's fun because it's very casual, and I don't feel pressure to like be perfect. So I'll go up there, and of course, the more I drink, the worse I am. But it's fun to go up there and sing, and just have fun with it. And the people that are there are always like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, it's fun to do. Especially when you're in a bar with like a bunch of old classic rock guys, and they're all singing like all the songs you hear on the radio, and then I'll get up and sing something completely different, and it just throws everybody off, and it's great. What other styles do you like besides metal? Dig some country music, pop, maybe some techno, rap, metal, or something. So I listen. I mean, I know a lot of people say this, but I really do listen to anything. But when I say that, I don't mean to listen to anything. I mean, I'll listen to any genre of music if the music is good. Like I respect artists from any genre. Anybody that puts out music, I respect it. So there's music that I like that is country. I don't listen to a lot of country, but there are songs that are country songs that I know that I happen to like. And a lot of pop songs. There are a lot of pop songs that I know really well that I like. A lot of pop artists that I respect. Do I listen to that stuff when I'm sitting by myself at home? No, I don't listen to it at home. But if I'm out with somebody and they turn it on in the car, or if like it's on in the bar or something, yeah, I'll jam out to it. I like anything that sounds good to me. I can vibe to it. I like some rap. Yeah, I've been listening to Tech Nine for like the past 8 years. And I never thought I would listen to rap. I used to talk shit about rap because I didn't understand it. And I started listening to Tech Nine, and it just opened up my world. So I got into Tech Nine, Chris Calico, kind of a little bit into Eminem, not that much. I like some of his songs, but I really like the technical fast rappers. I like that kind of stuff. Twista, anybody on like strange music. But yeah, Tech Nine is like my favorite rapper. Token is really good too. I like Token. If you guys don't know Token, the younger kid, just started out like a few years ago. He started on YouTube. He used to just do like rap battles and stuff like that, and then he started putting out his own songs on YouTube, and now he's on a major label, and he's doing some he puts out some pretty cool music. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, any genre really. Like I got into Pink Floyd last year. Last year was a weird time in music for me because Dustin Coulter. Hey, what's up, buddy? It's been a long time. Dustin Coulter. He used to be on my Facebook like every day, and I haven't seen his name in a long time. I love you too, man. It's good to see you. But yeah, last year was a very exploratory time for music for me because I was smoking a lot of pot, and I was spending a lot of time listening to music, just sitting in my house listening to music. And so that's when I first got into like Pink Floyd again. Started really listening to Pink Floyd and really like understanding Pink Floyd. And then that kind of like opened my world to like 60s, 70s psychedelic rock. And I was finding like all these bands that nobody's ever heard of. There's a band called Sweet Smoke that they put out like one EP in the 70s and they disappeared. But so good though. Like their first album was so good. There's a band called Gentle Giants. I listen to them a lot. Who else? There's a band that's still putting out music now. It's like an instrumental band, but they've been around for a long time. It's called what is it called? Oh no. Osric Tentacles is the name of the band. It's called Osric Tentacles, an instrumental band. I don't know, I got into like weird stuff for like a year. Like anything from the 60s and 70s, I was just, YouTube would recommend it to me and I would click on it. Just to like expand my horizons. So a lot of that like hippie 70s with like flutes and stuff. You know, funky rock. I was into that stuff for a little while. And I still am. Every once in a while, I'll explore a little bit more. But I don't really keep up with a lot of new music. Like, I'm not the kind of person that when something new comes out, I'm like the first person there. I listen to a lot of older music. And when I listen to metal, I listen to metal that I'm familiar with, mostly. There's not a lot of new metal that I've been getting into lately. Every once in a while, there's a new band that comes out that I kind of like their stuff a little bit, but it's like nothing seems to hit me the same way that the music that I already like. What was I going to say? It doesn't hit me the same as it used to. Like nothing, like when I first heard In Flames and Soilwork and Scar Symmetry and bands like that, the feeling that I got from listening to those and really getting into those bands, I haven't had that feeling from a band in such a long time. Where like I become obsessed with them, you know. It's like I don't know if it's gonna happen ever again. I hope it does, but yeah. I mean, I respect everybody that puts out music though, and there's something to like in everything. Like I'm not one of those people. Like I know people personally that when music comes on that they don't like if they only listen to rock and like rap comes on, they have to talk about how they don't like rap. I don't know this. I've never heard this before. I listen to real music. I listen to pure rock and roll. And I hate that attitude. I hate that. Because I can enjoy anything. You can turn on anything and I will find a way to enjoy it. Because, I mean, it's music. It is what it is. It's just music. But I hate that attitude. People that, like, hate things just because of what they are. You know? Oh, this is rap? I hate rap. Rap is crap. It's like, all rap? You don't like any of it? You can't find one thing that you like about it? That says more about that person than it does about the genre. That person has some kind of problem stopping them from listening to rap. And they just need to open themselves up to it. You know, expose yourself to something new and you'll grow to like it. You'll grow to like something about it. You know? I mean, I don't like everything about rap. Just like I don't like everything about metal. There's a lot of metal that I don't like. There's a lot of really common things in metal that I don't like. But I still love it. I don't care. We need more Devin Townsend covers. Yeah, I know. It's easier said than done, man. It's a hard guy to cover. Can you tell us something random but curious about you that you always wanted to say to your fans on an interview? Ooh. So now you're just giving me free reign to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And that's exciting. Like I said, the last couple of years, I have been on a personal journey where I have been educating myself on things that really interest me that I never learned when I was growing up. Like a lot of scientific things, mostly about like space, particle physics. I've dug so deep into particle physics. Don't ask me why. It doesn't do me any good, except it does change the way I think about things. Like, I learned a lot about particle physics, learned a lot about consciousness, what consciousness could like really be, what it really means to be conscious, what existence is. What does it really mean for something to exist rather than not exist? Why does anything exist at all? Why did the universe begin? And why did it have to begin? Was it always there? Did it begin? If it did begin, why? And how? And, you know, that's the stuff I think about all the time. I look up at the sky at night. I stare off into space. I think about the stars, how far away they are, how far away all these galaxies are, how many there are, how far off it goes. I know the age of the universe, the size of the universe. It's all that stuff is so interesting to me. And a lot of those things, like, people think it's just trivial stuff, but it really does change the way you think about everything in your regular life, because the things that I used to really care about, the things that I spent so much time worrying about, now I don't worry about them anymore, because I've realized how insignificant they really are. And the things that I really think about are like big ideas, things that really make a difference, things that more people should think about. Like, if people really thought about how things came into existence and how life started on this earth and how things evolved to the way they are, we would not have a lot of the problems we have in this world if people really stopped and understood what existence is. We wouldn't have all these religions, we wouldn't have all the political fighting, we wouldn't have all these different pockets of all these different ideas that are all fighting each other. It wouldn't be like that. It would be, I don't know what it would be, but it would be different than it is now. And the problem is, people don't think about this stuff. People don't really internalize it. Like, they learn about science in school, and they learn about space, and they learn about, all that stuff, but they don't really think about what that means. What does it really mean to exist as a living chunk of matter? What the fuck? It blows my mind that we're even alive at all, and what that even means. Because, like, I used to, when I was a kid, I grew up in church. I was a Christian. I used to be a Republican. I used to have all these really strong beliefs that I didn't actually believe in, but I just defend them because I didn't know any different. And then once I started learning about science, and I started learning about all of the stuff that I'm talking about, it changed my whole view, not only on life, but it's the way I talk about people, the way I treat people, the way I think about other people. And it really, like, opened up my empathy for other people, because I realized how rare and precious life is, and how rare and precious everything is. Everything on this earth is so rare and precious that man, I'm getting text now. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, another thing that really changed my view on life is there's a guy named Sam Harris, pretty popular guy. You might already know who he is. He's been around for a long time. He has his own podcast. He's a neuroscientist and philosopher. And his views on free will changed the way I think about everything. And learning about how there's a point of view out there where free will is an illusion. Free will, we don't actually have free will. And I think about this all the time. Like, I've been thinking about it for years now. So, like, it's so in depth that I'm not going to be able to, like, fully explain here. But I don't believe that people have free will. I believe that everything that we do is determined based on prior experiences, prior knowledge, and where we are currently in our life. And we're all just doing the best that we can all the time. We don't make our decisions. Like, you don't really decide. Like, when there's a big decision, do you really decide? Or do you just go with that because, based on your prior knowledge and experience, that's the direction that you think is best, right? Based on what you know. You can't decide something more than what you know. You can't, unless you're just guessing. Then it's just random. So, I believe that life is like a mixture of determinism and random events. But I don't believe that people have free will, because in order to have free will, you would have to think about what you're thinking about before you think it, because your thoughts pop into your head. Like, you don't think your thoughts, they just come up. Like, as much as you like to think that you're in there, that you're in control, you don't really exist. You're not in there. There's no person named Ryan in my brain that's, like, in there going, okay, let me think of this now. Like, it's literally just my brain telling me what it's thinking. My body is telling me what it's feeling. My body is telling me what emotions I have. And I can either fight against that and deny it and be miserable, or I can just accept, okay, this is how I feel. I'm sad now, so I'm sad. like let myself feel that way. And so I think that translates over into free will as well, because like people think that they're making their decisions. I got to where I am because I worked hard and I made all the right decisions. Well, you made those decisions because you were educated and you knew what decisions to make. You only made those decisions because you had prior experience and knowledge that led you to the point where you knew that probably the best thing to do is this thing. And you did it, and then you got lucky that it worked out. A lot of people do all the right things and they fail, and life falls apart for them. Some people do all the wrong things and life turns out great for them. You don't know what's going to happen. So to say that you have free will, you're in complete control of everything that happens, is just, it doesn't make any sense to me anymore. I don't think that, I used to believe in souls. I don't believe that people have souls anymore. I don't believe that there's a controller. I don't think so. I think that you are just the sum of your experiences. You're the sum of everything that you've learned. Everything that's been put into your brain since you were a baby is who you are now. Everything that your parents tell you, everything that your friends tell you, everything that you learn in school, all that stuff all meshes together and becomes your personality. It becomes who you are. You start mimicking this person because, you feel insecure. So you're like, I want to be more like that guy. So you start like saying things like that guy does, or you start laughing like this person laughs, and you start like forming your own personality. But you're not deciding to do that. You're doing that because that's what you feel like you need to do based on your prior experience and knowledge. I'm getting way too deep into this right now, but yeah, that's what I like thinking about. I think about that stuff all the time. So, I mean, the things that people think about and the things that people waste their time with and they waste their lives on, I'm not interested in that stuff anymore. All the things that people think that they're supposed to do to live the American dream. I think it's all bullshit. Yeah. I think it's all bullshit. I think it's all random. It's all whatever you make of it. There's no meaning of life. The only meaning of life is what you make of it. The meaning that you assign to it. Whatever you want to get out of life. It's whatever happens, happens, I mean, if you don't know how to make something happen, you have to learn. You have to fill your head with that knowledge. You have to research. You have to put that into your head before you can decide to do it. Otherwise, you won't know. So education is very important. Knowledge is very important. And most people just live ignorant lives. And that's why we have so many problems in the world, because there's so many just ignorant people. It's not that they're stupid. It's not that they can't learn. It's because they don't learn. They just don't spend their time doing it, because either they don't know how, or they don't want to, or they never told that they could, and I think that education is very important. With that being said, I think we've reached the end of the stream, because everybody's very quiet now. That was going on for a long time. Let me see if I missed any questions here. I believe that aliens are real. I believe that, with the size of the universe, how many galaxies there are, how many planets there are, it seems improbable that there wouldn't be another planet or a million other planets out there with something alive on them. I don't know what it is, but it could be like a little microscopic thing. But why wouldn't there be life? Life happened here, so why wouldn't it happen in other places if the right conditions are there? Yeah. Anyway. All right. I think we had enough of this. I'm almost done with my scotch. And we got pretty deep there for a moment. And I think everybody that was watching this, or anybody that is watching this after it's done, has already turned it off. I want to hear about music. All right. Could I start a podcast? I don't know, man. I've thought about it, starting a podcast. But, when you think about starting anything, there's always that voice in your head that's like, nah, it's a dumb idea. All the reasons why it's not going to work out immediately pop into my head. And I just know I would have to really devote myself to it. if I were to start a podcast, I'd really have to like show up and do it consistently and be okay with the fact that nobody's listening to it. And then, I don't know, it seems like a lot of anxiety. I have thought about it though. Maybe I'll do it sometime. Maybe your comment right now will inspire me to start thinking about it more. Who knows? Maybe it's a good idea. Hello, Bruce Alvestam. I have a feeling that's not your real name. Or not your real last name. A collab with Christian Alvestam someday? Well, about that. Yeah. I kind of touched on that subject earlier, but I don't think I'll ever be working with Christian Alvestam. Unfortunately. Yeah. Wasn't very nice to me last time I talked to him, so probably not going to happen. I wanted to get him on this album, but yeah, that didn't work out. Okay, Nundo, thank you so much for showing up. All right, everybody, I think we've had enough of this today. I think now is a good time for me to go. But I want to do this again. This has been fun. Thank you, Dustin, for your donation. I mean, if I'm going to start getting donations, I'll stay here all day. I'm just kidding. Hey, Tolius is back. Hey, Tolius. Poker face, what are you talking about? Who's poker face? Whose face are you poking? Can't read my, no, you can't read my poker face. Chubby bottom. I don't know what she says. Sorry, I have a text. Hold on one second. There's always something going on. Well, all right. Anybody else have any questions? Anything? Otherwise, I think it's time to call it quits. I think my dad will be home soon. I am in his bedroom. He's going to want to come home and take a shower and all that. All right, folks. This was really fun. So glad we did this. I'm going to try to do it more often. Drop in on Monday mornings because I'm doing those music review things where you guys can send me your music and I will listen to it for just $5. You send me $5, I'll listen to your song and we'll listen to it with everybody on the stream and we'll talk about it and try to be as encouraging as possible. And yeah, so let's do that. And maybe another Q&A stream a couple weeks from now. Sounds good? All right, guys. Thanks for dropping in. This has been great. I had a really great time. And I will talk to you all really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.